What's up, guys? My name's Justin, and thank you for tuning in to the Thriving Coach Podcast.
And I'm Zayne. What we try to do here is help navigate men through their relationships as they go through their work-life balance with not only their spouse, but also their kids. Seeing it from two different point of views. Justin with the 3 kids, and me starting fresh, just now about to get married.
Just like Zayne said, we're here for you, and we hope you enjoy this episode. All right, well, thank you for tuning in to the Call Thrive Coaching Podcast. I'm here with Zayne as always, and we have some really good topics to think about and talk about today. We're going to talk about 3 normal conflicts that relationships struggle with, and how we personally deal with it or try to deal with it. I actually picked Zayne to pick the one that he's really good at, and then we'll discuss one that I'm really good at. And then the last one will kind of be like a open discussion and kind of hear our thoughts behind why we think certain things. So, does that sound good?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I think we're
Awesome.
going to hit 3 pointers that we're going to talk about. This is something that I'm learning every day throughout my relationship with Kaylee. Still learning the process through these 3 topics that we're going to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump into topic number 1.
Yeah, so number 1, we're going to talk about financial responsibilities, or also just overall financial goals and commitments for couples. We know there's always one person in the relationship that has a little more swipe happy than the other. Luckily, that happens to be me in my relationship. So I don't get.
I think that happened to be me too.
Yeah, no doubt. But I will say I'm the most responsible with my finances also in the relationship.
Yeah.
So it plays out that when I do spend money, we actually have it. Unlike my spouse, I don't think she realizes that when she spends money that it actually like charges us, you know? No, she does great with finances. She's more just doesn't know, one of the hardest things me and Cambria, it's gotten a lot better now. But we used to I would get frustrated because anytime she'd tell me a number, it was never like the exact number. She'd be like, oh, I don't know, 250. I'm like, we're planning our monthly budget. I can't just be like, oh, okay, let's throw a grenade. I hope 250 sticks. But really, it's 400. Like, she always like just, it's somewhere around 250. And I'm like, that's not good enough for me. Like, I need a number. But she is really good at knowing. She doesn't spend a lot of money only on like the kids. But she's good. Like, she just doesn't need a lot. Like, so when she does get stuff, it's usually because of me. And then she's like, you didn't need to do that. But I actually know how much money we have. But like, I move all the money around. I manage all the like accounts and stuff. So.
Yeah, with Kaylee, she's pretty frugal when it comes to spending. So like during the first part of our relationship, she's never she calls it a big girl job.
Yeah.
She's never really had a big girl job for the first, I don't know,
3 years,
4 years we
4
were
years.
together. And so she was always very frugal with her money. And so we've never had big conversations. One of the conversations that we're talking about right now with financing is getting her a new car.
Yeah.
It's getting about that time to definitely to get her a new car. I'm more over the bank accounts right now. Over mine. Right now, ours is separate. We plan on switching that after we get married.
Yeah.
But as of right now, our accounts are separate, and we both kind of just hold each other accountable. During this season, we've had set goals for both of ourselves for money to save, to be able to put on to the house, her car, and do those things. So I'm not really too familiar as far as with the finances together yet. So I'm excited to see what that tackles and what ways that you and Cambria. How was the transition when you and Cambria first combined y'all's finances?
The hardest transition was it was just her and Kenzie, so she always said blow and go.
Yeah.
Because she had nothing really. She was making good money and had a daughter to take care of. That's it. Like,
yeah,
they were living on their own, so she didn't really ever have to worry about like budgeting and understanding where the money's going, planning out everything out. So I helped her with that. More like, hey, let's just be aware of our spending. Like, we don't really budget, but just more of a financial awareness, being smart. she actually taught me how to like pay my bills and everything because I've never done that.
Yeah.
Um, I just got out of college basically and then played pro ball. My only bill was my truck payment and it was automatic.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't realize how you had to like schedule bills out and she writes checks for some, but card for some. And so she helped me with all that. Now I understand it all. So we kind of helped each other there financially. And then second, as later on our marriage, and as I've mentioned on here before, is the financial meetings with each other, just business meetings. Having we try to do once a month. Sometimes it's twice, depending on how much is going on. But uh, yeah, that's honestly been huge. Is where we can actually sit down at night and talk about it and say, hey, like this is what it looks like. This is the money we have coming in the next 3 months. This is what we have the money. This is the money we have coming in the next 3 months, and here's the money we have coming out the next 3 months. Whether it's kids stuff, Kenzie's cheer, anything like that. But that is one of the best things we've done financially.
If you could go a little bit more depth on, I know we've talked about this
Yeah.
before, we brought it up, but can you go more in depth? Like, what like points are you really trying to focus in on when you have these meetings with Cambria?
Okay. So I do. It's more of like a pulse check. So the first question I always ask her is, um, I, s- I first thing I say is, how are we doing? Not. I'm trying to think of the first like. It's kind of weird. So I basically ask her, have all the bills come out if it's like all ready because she keeps it on track for that, like what date when it comes out.
So,
So
like, have all the needs come out yet?
yeah, so I'll look at the like our bank account, but hey, is all of our bills paid? And she'll say yes, so I can like check that off like that's green. Because if it's looking like hey, we probably shouldn't spend any money for the rest of the month, this bill hasn't come out, then that would bring up a red flag. We've never actually hit that point in our relationship, but that's really the first question I ask is have all the bills that come out of our checking account paid? Because that way I don't have just random money coming out. My account goes into negative for some reason. So that's the first question I ask. And then the second question is always, what do the kids have coming up? Are there
Yeah.
any surprises I don't want to? And that's more on my fact. Like, I don't like being surprised financially if I can plan for it.
Yeah.
So I'll ask her, like, do we have any surprises? Because we have swim lessons, cheerleading, school camp, summer camps. So I always ask her that. Uh, and then the last thing is there anything we need to get taken care of personally, me or you, or vehicles, health, anything and everything, and then we set that out, and then we realize how much check how much money we saved, and then we talk about like our personal businesses, like her real estate, um, my tool company, podcast. So that's
Are
kind of like the breakdown.
are y'all you live in a rental right now? You're getting y'all's house done. Are you planning on having like an emergency fund for the house at all?
Yeah, so I always have an emergency fund. So what I do in my bank account is whatever. So I try to have double the triple amount of money in the bank for like say it's January. I should have enough money. No, I try to have enough money to make it to March, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
So you do 3 months.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't have like a safety account or anything like that, but we have. So the best bank accounts that I've come up with is I have a tax account because both of us are 1099 in some cases. I have a savings account. I have a mortgage account, and then I have checking account and my business account. So it's 5 accounts I have.
okay.
So basically, when I get paid, I pay my mortgage to my mortgage account. Sometimes I pay double, depending on how the month went or anything. Um, that way, I know that money is for our house, and I know that we have somewhere for our kids to live. So I always want to have a roof over their heads. So that's like the first thing I look at.
Yeah.
Second one is I look at savings, and savings is basically my emergency account. I don't really pay too much to it. I put some money into it weekly, and that's more for like medical bills, health, kids' birthdays, anything that I don't really want to save for, but I just put money in there so we can spend it. Basically, it's not
Okay.
really it's not a true savings account. My true savings account is actually my tax account and mortgage account.
Yeah.
So, and
Okay.
the reason I have a tax account is we've all been there, been blindsided by the
By the
IRS did
IRS?
not have the money to pay.
Unky Sam.
I learned the hard way. So now I have a tax account to where I can't spend that money.
Okay.
I just put it in there and know like this is not touchable.
What two things do y'all do? What responsibilities do you set for yourself?
Alexa, this is not your show.
Sorry. That's what she said. So what are like your responsibilities when it comes to the financial versus like responsibilities that you have for Cambria?
So my responsibilities are to make sure since Cambria stays at home, not a knock at stay-at-home moms at all. They work their butt off, do a lot. I don't want that job at all. I'd rather go to work.
Yeah.
But
Same.
my job is to make sure for one that there's money in the bank account.
Yeah.
Her job is to make sure that we're being smart financially when it comes to
So she's the one that kind of holds you
everyday.
back.
Yeah.
She's like,
Well,
hey,
not that. Any fun stuff she has no. She knows by now. We've been married long enough. If I planned it or bought it, it means we had it. I don't just. I never make stupid financial decisions ever.
yeah,
If I have, I learn from them, and I will never repeat them.
yeah,
But she's more of like I don't have enough time in my day to see how much you spend on groceries or food or anything and everything. So I just trust you.
yeah,
Just please. And so she's really good at that. She follows our budget. She knows when the kids need this and don't need that. She stays on top of it and keeps me, and that just keeps me stress free because she knows by now if she surprises me with something financially, I don't really I get stressed. I'm a human being, but I'm not like gonna lose my mind. But it does. She could tell it just it's like puts this kind of pressure on me. But it's funny. We have the money. It just feel like it's not there.
yeah,
But if she tells me in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it just helps me feel way better.
yeah. No, absolutely. And that kind of leads into the responsibilities into our second segment. It's about the household. Taking care of your house, especially with kids, is a lot.
Yeah.
Taking with Kaylee, our schedules are so crazy. If we don't constantly keep up with it, it can turn into a disaster really quick.
Yeah.
So we make sure to split up our responsibilities around the house. And one of the things that I really focus on is doing a lot of the cooking. Kaylee's not the fondest of cooking. It's
Me
something.
either.
It's something that if I actually wanted to do, um, like if I could, I would go try to be a chef.
You could tell the wife and fiance walked in during this part because they got real nervous. I'm glad my segment's already done.
Yeah. And yeah, so I'm really focused on the cooking, and she does. I call her my superwoman because she does quite a lot for me. I'll be honest with you. I do a lot of working late, so a lot of times I don't get home till 8 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And she's at the period now that her season's over with volleyball that she's getting home a lot sooner than I am. So we've been able to split up. She's really stepped up in responsibilities as far as what she's doing because
Yeah.
as far as doing laundry or doing dishes it's kind of a collective thing.
Mm-hmm.
We She'll do the dishes, I'll do the dishes. Sometimes we'll do the dishes together.
Yeah.
That's kind of because we don't have that much time together, so that's where we can spend time together and actually talk about our day. Sadly, right?
I'm about to say that. Put your earmuffs on, babe.
But yeah, so we'll do dishes together. One person will either be cleaning up the countertops, cleaning those areas up while the other's doing the dishes.
Yeah.
Or we'll both just be doing the dishes together because there's some things that, like my cast iron skillet, I have to hand wash
You're
that.
such a dork.
No, what do you mean? I can't put that in the dishwasher.
Oh man.
As far as laundry, I'm not gonna lie, she does most of the
Yeah.
laundry.
Laundry's honestly the worst thing in the world.
I think I'd rather sit in a sauna for 2 hours that's at 140 degrees than to do laundry.
I have a joke about laundry.
If I were single, I would pay for someone to do my laundry.
For sure. Well, no doubt. So my joke about laundry is that's the Lord created laundry. So women knew how to be patient before they had kids. Because
Yeah.
they're never patient. Men are naturally patient, so I feel like laundry taught them that.
Kaylee's sitting there laughing. She doesn't agree. I think I think she's been doing. She hasn't done enough laundry, so.
Laundry's the most boring thing in the world. You
Yes,
literally-
no, it's so
like
boring.
I would rather paint a wall.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree, and it's so funny because when she does laundry, I'm not bashing her or anything. I truly support when when I knew she was the one. You want to know really when I knew she was the one? She was at my house. We were dating, and she was just over. She saw my laundry sitting in a basket, and she just started folding it. I didn't ask her. I didn't
Man,
say
we
anything.
just got canceled today.
And no,
No doubt.
that's what I was like. Holy crap! Like I think she's the one. I've never had anyone do that for me.
Yeah.
And then I got bamboozled. Now I have to do some laundry too. But uh, this is not your turn, Kaylee.
Yeah.
You'll have
you
your
had
time
your
to turn.
show. You and Alexa trying to interrupt my show.
No, but it was so she takes care of most of the laundry. As far as the outside work that I do have to do, I typically take care of the outside work. If we have to mow, me or my dad, since I'm living with my parents right now, I'll do all that stuff, and that's what I'll do when I'm at my house. I won't be like you. I am the Mexican. I'll make sure to be out.
That's why
Actually, mowing
I'm
the
just glad
lawn.
you said it. I was trying not to say it.
Oh, I'll actually be out there taking it.
What did you just say?
I'll be actually out there taking the lawn seriously.
Oh, we have to cut this out. I'll just go out there and take.
I got distracted by the game.
What were we talking about?
What are some of the responsibilities that you and Canberra have to trade off?
Around the house.
Yeah.
So I take out the trash every time. Cambria thinks anytime she takes out the trash, somebody's gonna get her.
Yeah. I don't blame her. It's in that little alley right there. It's kind of dark.
So I take out the trash every time, which I grew up doing that every Thursday morning. So I've always known like that's just my chore.
Well, yeah, your trash can gets full like every day.
Yeah, twice a day.
Yeah, it's insane. You don't need a bigger trash.
I don't understand what happens there, but yeah. So I take out the trash. I help at night clean up the toys for the kids because we don't have a game room, so they're all in the living room. I do that around the house, and basically anything that's in the garage,
Okay.
not outside. I will have to once we have a house, but luckily since I rent, my landlord takes care of like the yard and stuff. But I told Canberra I might actually buy a lawnmower.
Wow.
Because I've never.
I don't believe you. You've never mowed?
Because my parents, I was a baby when we moved there, basically 3. So my dad didn't want to mow it because he worked so much. So then by the time I got old enough to mow, he was already paying someone. But I would have been if I was older. I promise you, he would have had me out there in the front yard mowing.
I used to mow 2 acres in a pushing lawnmower.
Wow. And honestly, I played so much baseball, we would have had to mow at night every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but no, that's my responsibilities. But I also make it a point to help her navigate Kinsey. So I have to be the baby dictator.
Yeah.
In the household, I hold Kinsey responsible, so I don't have to get involved.
And that kind of goes into our third category of the parenting styles that each one has to take. Yours is a little bit different because your parenting style, I don't want to say changes, but it's a different responsibility that you have to take on with you being not only a stepdad and then a father of 2.
Yeah.
Not saying that your roles change because I think your responsibilities are the same. But the way y'all parent is different. It's got to be, right?
100%. And I somehow have to be like I have to stay on them, but I'm the nice one, so it's really hard for me.
Yeah.
So when
you are nice, you're too nice sometimes.
Yeah, so I feel guilty sometimes, but I know it's the right thing to do, so I do it.
Yeah.
But I don't enjoy it ever. Even with Kinsey, I just know I could tell sometimes Cambria is getting frustrated, and I have to be the one to
So who's more of the distant
It's me by fault, not by default, by choice, because Cambria goes with like the threatens, like right off the bat, like if Jet fell down, she'd be like, Jet, stop! You're gonna die right now if you fall again. And I'm like, you can't just terrify them. So that's how it started with Kinsey. She'd tell Kinsey her feet were gonna fall if she kept crossing them or something. So I was like, I'm just gonna handle the hard conversations because I do this every day for work. But if I get to the point where I'm just off, I tell Cambria, I'm like, you need to go do something. I could talk to her. I can't. So
Yeah.
but I try to be the one that, especially when I'm home, because I know she deals with it all day with Jet and Oakley.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't enjoy it at all.
What are things that you try to help her with? Because I mean, we both said it. We do not. Neither one of us would even want to think about being a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah,
At any
never.
point. I know the stuff that Cambria puts in and that other mothers have put in. It's not easy being a stay-at-home
No.
mom. So, what are ways that you've helped her versus dealing with that?
So I got a sitter for her 2 times a week for 4 hours a day. So it gives her enough time to like go have alone time, 8 hours of the week, go work out, run errands, shop, whatever she wants to do, get lunch with her friends. That was one of the best things I did. And then on Thursdays, also we get lunch as a couple every Thursdays. Pretty much no questions asked. And if I happen to have a meeting on a Thursday, I will like move our date to a Friday or Tuesday. So
Yeah.
we make sure we're always staying on top of that. But I would say the biggest thing I did was get her a sitter, and then also pay for like Mother's Day out. Mother's Day out was a big time win, especially when Jet was the only baby. She got a lot of alone time.
So if you could give someone advice for someone that maybe couldn't afford to get a babysitter or to do that, what are ways that you've helped relieve Cambria when she is home to make sure that she still got her alone time from it while you were
Yeah.
being a
So
parent?
when Jet was actually first born, we couldn't afford a babysitter. Um, and so it was a lot harder for her mentally. She would have days where she'd be like, I just need to go to the room. I would just be out here Jet playing with him. And the whole time he was obsessed with his mom. So he would always ask, Where's
Yes, he
mommy?
was.
Where's
I
mommy?
remember those days.
Now I'm his favorite. But no, man, this is a long time ago. Hold on. I know one. I used to take Jet on like little dates. So we'd go like the Hobbyland. We went to Chuck E. Cheese, Buffalo Wild Wings, the park, the movies. I would try to keep him as far away from here as possible. And then there would be days where I would take Kinsey, and so she could have alone time with Jet. So like, um, that was one of the biggest things, and I actually loved it because I got to spend time alone with my kids, which I never get to do. Like,
Yeah.
because when I'm home, Cambria's home, so I don't get much alone time with them, and so that is nice to have those moments. I actually want to take Jet back to movies soon because it was a little different last time. It was fun, but we didn't get. He was over it after like an hour, which I understand.
Yeah.
But now he's getting older. I think he'll be more involved. But he had a blast. He had pretzels and popcorn and all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah, so what I got from it is you kind of just take the kids away. You
yeah.
make sure that mom still has her alone time, that she can still
Hmm.
have her work on herself and have time to herself.
That's the biggest thing I would say is realize that she never gets time alone. When we go to work, we're time like that's alone time basically.
Yeah,
They don't get that. So when we get home and we're asking all this from them, obviously it's gonna eventually have an emotional weight on it. So that was one of the biggest things I had to learn, that being at home was a lot harder than it seems.
yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, that's all I have, man. Um, at the three things that we hit on
Yep.
was the financing part of
Yeah.
it,
Financial
how
responsibility.
we kind of break down the household as far as that goes, and then also the parenting styles and what we do to kind of what he does to help his wife during the parenting process because it can be stressful. I'm not there yet, so I didn't say anything. So
Hopefully soon.
yeah, 5 years.
Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Go Mavericks.